वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा आङ्गिकं भुवनं यस्य वाचिकं सर्ववाङ्मयम् आहार्यं चन्द्रतारादि तं नमः सात्विकं शिवं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनतु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनामधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओं सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओं.
Thank you, Nitila. Thank you very much. Very good chanting. And today we are in the 17th chapter and introduction will be done by Swastik. Over to you, Swastik.
Yes, sir. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Ashmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So today we will hope to cover yajna and tapas, and we have 17, 18, 19 and 20 verses, and today we will have 3 stories, which will be the story of Mahakali, then the story of Nachiketa and his father, and the story of Mahabalipuram. So this will be for the class today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Swastik. With that, we move on to Vande Guru. Our gurus, we are pranama to them. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Now, a very short recap for people who have joined today. The 17th chapter starts with the question of Arjuna, that what happens to those who are illiterate in spirituality, who don't read Bhagavad Gita, but they pray to God. So we all know that prayer or faith is divided into 3 types depending upon the nature of that person. Like Rama's nature is Satvik, so he will offer Sattvic things and he will pray to Lord, not for only the benefit of himself, but for the entire world and universe. Rajasic people like Ravana will always ask for materialistic growth and he will always be selfish. And Tamasic people will have offerings where they will be harming themselves as well as others. These are the 3 types of worship depending upon their motive and the nature which they are made up of. That can be Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic. In the beginning, Krishna tells us about Ahara, and we all know up to now, the Ahara means not only food, it is all the 5 senses and that which takes in us, all through these 5 senses, what we take in is Ahara. So we should take Sattvic things inside us. So that is what we have understood. And we will try to follow this. Then Krishna says about Yajna. Yajna is, again, we have to do Sattvic Yajna, means we are praying for entire universe. We don't do anything with any expectations. And it is done according to the scriptures. That is Sattvic Yajna. We all know the Panch Mahayajna should be done every day without any break, without any holidays, and we should do all the 5 yajnas, which is first Brahma Yajna. You get up after taking a bath, you pray and you study the scriptures, meditate on that. Then Deva Yajna, that worships which you do, any homam or puja. Pitru Yajna is for your ancestors, fathers, and forefathers. Then Bhuta Yajna, which we all know, we all like to do, that is feeding the pets, animals, ants, birds, everything. Now the summer season will come. It will be after this winter, summer will be there, hot summer. We have to try and put some kind of one small glass of water or vessel outside our house for the very hungry and very thirsty birds. That is a part of Bhuta Yajna. And finally, Manushya Yajna, which we all should do, helping our fellow beings. Now we know that we can't be always sattvic, but we also understand through these scriptural studies, one can change from tamasic, go higher up to the rajasic, and then even higher is sattvic. Today, we will again revise the story of Nachiketa, which is going to be explained to us, presented by Anjana. Go ahead, Anjana.
Hari Om. Today I am going to tell you all the story of Nachiketa and his father. Sorry for delaying the story. Many years ago, there lived a boy named Nachiketa. He was the son of Rishi Uddalak. Uddalak was also known as Vajashravas. Once, Rishi Uddalak organized a yajna to please God and gain heaven. It was a custom at those days to donate cows to Brahmins at the end of the yajna. Uddalak was a miser. He used to spend as little money as possible, so he donated old and weak cows to Brahmins. Nachiketa was puzzled by his father's action. What does he mean by all this? He said to himself, what happened to all the useful cows? This is no less than a sin. It is actually a cheating. My father intends to go to heaven, but if he do like this, he will go to hell instead through such actions. He asked his father about this. Father, to whom will you give me to, as charity or gift? This made his father very angry, but he decided not to say anything. When Nachiketa repeated the same questions many times, Uddalak lost his temper and said, get away from here. I will give you to Yama, the god of death. Nachiketa thought, I should fulfill my father's wish and went to Yama's kingdom. It would not be proper for him to disobey his father. His father, however, realized his mistake, but it was too late. He muttered, shame upon my anger. I should have never said those words. What will befall me now? I have asked for my son to die. With a blank head and a heavy heart, he sat down and tried to stop Nachiketa. But Nachiketa did not stop. He said, Father, I must see Yama to obey your order. He reached Yama's kingdom, but was told by Yama's guards that Yama was gone out for 3 days. Nachiketa decided to wait at his doorstep until he returned. He waited for 3 days without any food and water. Finally, Yama returned on the 4th day and saw little Nachiketa at his doorstep. He was sad that he kept the Brahmin waiting without welcoming and not giving any food and water. It was very, very bad not to welcome an Aditi at the doorstep. He yelled at his wife Yami for not welcoming him. The both of them rushed around the house to serve Nachiketa. Yama still did not feel satisfied in serving him. So he told Nachiketa, Dear child, I have offended you by keeping you waiting for 3 days. To wash my sin, I request you to ask me for 3 wishes. Nachiketa answered to Yama by saying, My first wish is that when I return, may my father welcome me lovingly. My second wish is to grant me the knowledge so that I can be worthy of living in the heavens. My third and last wish is to grant me Atma Vidya, knowledge of the soul. Yama granted the first 2 boons immediately, but tried to convince Nachiketa to give up his third wish. He offered Nachiketa gold, pearls, coins, horses, elephants, and even happiness of Swarga, heaven, instead. But Nachiketa firmly said, No, I don't wish for anything else. Finally, Yama granted him the third boon too, and Nachiketa was enlightened with the knowledge of Atma. Nachiketa returned to his parents. His father embraced his son with open arms and said, My dear son, please forgive me. His mother, overwhelmed with joy, and inquired, Dear child, how did you acquire this gold glow on your face? Nachiketa narrated the entire story to all those assembled. Praise was showered on Nachiketa for his achievement. The story of Nachiketa teaches us to be kind to all creatures, to respect one's parents, and to be strong willed to do something that has been decided. Even if it means facing difficulties and obstacles, one should stick to that decision. Thank you. Thank you, Sachin uncle, for giving this opportunity. Hari Om.
Excellent story and excellent message to all of us through this story. Thank you very much once again. We have done this story, but this was a new way and new morals through this story by Anjana. So after the yajna, there are again, it is divided into three things: tapas, which is again physical and depending upon the goals. So physically, three tapas is bodily tapas is physical, verbal, and mental. We all know the easiest is physical, like doing a puja or something. The most difficult is verbal, and the far most difficult is mental, sitting quietly and doing japa. That is most difficult. So three levels of tapas are mentioned here. Then in the vak tapas, the speech was described, and it was so, we have already done it so well, but once again we will repeat it. The speech should have this four component. One is truth. It should be truthful. Whenever we speak to someone, it should be truthful. It should be beneficial to the listeners. It should be also lovable. You should not speak something which may not be liked by others, and never hurt through your speech, because hurt, the fellow being will not be happy to listen to your speech. Now, one more thing which we missed out was the quality and quantity of speech. Now you can see two jars, both filled with water and fish. Which one of this you like most? The left side with a lot of fish, or the
second one?
second one? Obviously, second one. Same way, our speech should be less of quantity,
Sir, the one to the right.
more of quality. So the speech should be as the jar on the right side, less of quantity and more of quality. Remember, again, imagine the speech should be how it should be if it is smoke. If its smoke spreads all around the place, as your speech words, the sound goes all around. And if you can see the sound in the form of a smoke, how do you like to have that smoke? Would you like to have, as shown in the left side, a fragrant incense stick smoke, or a smelly, dirty, full of pollutant cigarette smoke? So the words,
Sir, incense.
exactly, it should be like an incense stick smoke, fragrant, spreading nice smell all around where you are there. So the speech should be of less quantity, more quality. It should spread happiness all around. And that can only happen through the four things which we have learned: Satyam, Priyam, Hitam, Anudvega Karanam. After that, we have gone through the next part of tapas, the Manasa tapas, means mental tapas. When you do mental tapas, it gives you a kind of happiness, it gives you a kind of balance. Like if you imagine this flight and you are the pilot, consider this flight as your life's flight, the journey of your life. Most of the time, the two wings, consider the one wing as future and the other as past. If the pilot is not focused in the present, that is to go ahead, he will be wasting his energy and the plane won't reach to the heights. Same way, children, doing Manasa tapas. Manasa tapas will help you to get the Manasa prasada, that is equanimity of your mind, peace. It also helps if you are doing Manas tapas, that whatever there's a connection between the brain and what you speak. If there is a disconnection, we all know such peoples are considered to be difficult personality or personality which people try to avoid. So with manas tapas, there is a connection between the tongue and the thought that will give you saumyatvam. And we all know the whatever thoughts arises in the mind, that slowly makes your world around. So good thoughts, good speech will make good actions around you. So first, think whatever you want to get in your mind, then you speak, and then you act, not the reverse way. To do this, you have to have maunam. You cannot just walk around, jump around, run around to get this kind of manas tapas. You have to go inwards. You cannot go outwards. Atma vinigraha. You have to go towards your soul. And to search the soul, you have to be quietening your mind. So the more you quieten yourself, the more you will speak to your soul. As you all know, mind is a beautiful servant, but also a dangerous master of its own. So with this, we will go ahead with the story of Mahabalipuram by Vishwesh. Go ahead, Vishwesh.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Namaste, everyone. Today we are going to be seeing about the history of Mahabalipuram. Mahabalipuram, also known as Mahabalipuram, is a town in the Chengalpattu district in the southern eastern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, best known for the UNESCO World Heritage Site of 7th and 8th century Hindu group of monuments at Mahabalipuram. It is one of the most famous tourist sites in India. The ancient name of this place is Tirukadal Mallai. The term Mamallapuram means the city of Mamalla, the other name of the famous Pallava emperor Narasimhavarman I, who built the famous temples in the city. An 8th century Tamil text written by Tirumangai Alvar described this place as Sea Mountain, where the ships rode at anchors bent to the point of breaking laden, as they were built big trunk elephants and gems of 9 varieties in shape, deeps. The group of monuments at Mahabalipuram is a collection of 7th and 8th century Christian era religious monuments in the coastal resort town of Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu, India, and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is on the Coromandel coast of the Bay of Bengal, about 60 kilometers south of Chennai. The site has 40 ancient monuments and Hindu temples, including one of the largest open-air rock reliefs in the world, the descent of the Ganges or Arjuna's penance. The group contains several categories of monuments. Ratha temples with monolithic processional chariots built between 630 and 668 CE, Mandapa Viharas, cave temples with narrators from the Mahabharata, and Shaivite, Shakti or Shakta, and Vaishnava inscriptions in several Indian languages and scripts. Rock reliefs, particularly bas reliefs, stone-cut temples built between 695 and 722, and archaeological excavations dated to the 6th century and earlier. The monuments were built during the Pallava dynasty. Known as the 7 pagodas in many colonial era publications, they are also called the Mamallapuram temples or Mahabalipuram temples. The Shore Temple. The Shore Temple was a complex of temples and shrines that overlooks the shore of the Bay of Bengal. It's a structural temple built with blocks of granite dating from the 18th century AD. At the time of its creation, the site was a busy port during the reign of Narasimhavarman II of the Indian Pallava dynasty. As one of the group of monuments of Mahabalipuram, it has been classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1984. It is one of the oldest structural stone temples of southern India. The temple is a combination of 3 shrines. The main shrine is dedicated to Shiva, as is the smaller second shrine. A small third shrine between the two is dedicated to a reclining Vishnu and may have had water channeled into the temple entering the Vishnu shrine. Some important structures include descent of the Ganges or Arjuna's penance, a giant open-air rock relief, Pancharathas, 5 chariots, 5 monolithic pyramidal structures named after the Pandavas, Arjuna, Bhima, Yudhishthira, Nakula, and Sahadeva, and Draupadi. Each of these is carved from one single separate large piece of stone. Cave temples. Over 10 rock cut temples dating back to the 7th century. These include the Varaha, Adi Varaha, Krishna, Mahishasura Mardini, Ramanuja, Dharmaraja, Koneri, Kotikal, Panchapandava, and others. Other structural temples include the Ollakaneshwara temple, the lighthouse, and rock cut features such as Draupadi's tank and Krishna's butter ball. Tirukadal Mallai, the temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu. The area around the famous Mahabalipuram temple in Tamil Nadu state is swathed in legend. The myths of Mahabalipuram were first set down in writing by British traveller J. Goldingham, who visited the South Indian coastal town in 1798. The myths tell of 6 temples submerged beneath the waves, with the 7th temple, the Mahabalipuram temple, still standing on the seashore. They record how a large and attractive city once stood on the site, but it was so beautiful that the gods became jealous and sent a flood that swallowed it up entirely in a single day. Now, with an equal vengeance, the myths have become reality. The tsunami of 2004 appears to have thrown evidence of the ancient port city back onto the beaches. After the decision of the coastline following the tsunami, archaeologists identified several stone structures buried in the sand close to the Mahabalipuram temple. All of those so far identified are around 6 feet tall and all have elaborate engravings of the kind found in the rock-hewn Mahabalipuram temple. The temple, a World Heritage Site, represents some of the earliest known examples of Dravidian architecture dating back to the 7th century AD. The Mahabalipuram Dance Festival. The Mamallapuram Dance Festival is held every year during December to January in Mamallapuram, Tamil Nadu. This dance festival is organized by the Department of Tourism, Government of Tamil Nadu. Exponents of art Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak, Odissi, Mohiniyattam, and Kathakali perform against this magnificent backdrop of the Pallava rock structures. It's a vibrant festival of dance where an enormous audience enjoys this 1 month long festival. Mahabalipuram is truly a magnificent city and we should make sure to visit it once in our lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vishwesh. Definitely, we should visit to such a temple of World Heritage. And I think many of you must have already visited this temple. There is also a very huge rock which is just hanging on a small place, and most of the time it is a attraction for tourists to take a selfie. It's a huge rock which is hanging just on a small area on the ground.
Sir, it could just be that it's like centered in the middle, like the most of the weight is just centered in the middle. So it could just be hanging like that.
Yes. So with that, we come to today's class, today's first verse, and we start about the tapas. Vishnu, you will be chanting after ma'am, and after that, Raghav Vashne will explain the verse also. Over to you, ma'am.
Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi satvikam paricakshate Shraddhaya paraya taptam
Shraddhaya paraya taptam
tapastatrividham naraihi
tapastatrividham naraihi
tapastatrividham naraihi
tapastatrividham naraihi.
That is in red letter. What does it mean? Red color. What does it mean?
Mahaprana?
Yes, very good, very good. Tapastatrividham naraihi.
Tapastatrividham naraihi.
Very good. Aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi.
Aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi.
Satvikam parichakshate.
Satvikam parichakshate.
Okay, very good. Let us all chant together. Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Tapastatrividham naraihi. Aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi. See here, you should say it. They pronounce it as aphala, papa. There is no letter af. It's or fa in Sanskrit. So you have to say aphala kankshibhiryuktaihi. Repeat.
Apalakankshiviryuktaihi.
Satvikam parichakshate.
Satvikam
Parichakshate.
Go ahead, Vishnu. Explain.
When devout persons with ardent faith practice his threefold austerities without yearning for material rewards, they are designated as austerities in the mode of goodness. Having delineated the austerities of the body, speech, and mind, Sri Krishna now mentions their characteristics. When they are performed in the mood of goodness, he says that an austerity loses its sanctity when material benefits are sought from its performance. It must be performed in a selfless manner without attachment to rewards. Also, our faith in the value of the austerities should remain steadfast in both success and failure, and its practice should not be suspended because of our laziness or inconvenience. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu. Raghav will explain in details. Raghav, over to you.
Namaskaram, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. As Vishnu stated down all the points, I just want to talk more about the Nishkama Karma indirectly mentioned in this verse. So, in this verse, it tells about the austerities which are sattvic, which do not harm others, and which are done for the benefit of all the people, and which are done in the sorry, sir, can I say? Yeah, they are done with a lot of faith. They don't expect anything in return, and this is also mentioned in chapter. I think it's mentioned in chapter 3.
Yes, Karma Yoga. Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Very good. Very important point you brought it out. That is in Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma means you don't expect anything out of the austerity. That is the real Sattvic tapas. Tapas means austerity here. You have got that point very well. So Sattvic tapas is basically nothing but your shraddha towards your scriptures. Great reverence for scriptures. You don't expect by reading Bhagavad Gita that tomorrow you will have a Ferrari car at front of your home. You don't expect that by reading Bhagavad Gita you will come first in the running race. So why do you read Bhagavad Gita then? Why do you understand scriptures? It is because first and foremost it is the reverence. You like it. You know that this is something very, very important to know. And that's the only reason we are reading it. Okay? If we get some benefit, it is a byproduct. It is not that for the benefit we are reading Bhagavad Gita. And that is what is very important. That is Sattvic tapas. Also, it is mentioned without any expectations. Afala kankshir bir. Akanksha means your expectation. And afala means with fruits, benefits. So both we don't want. If it comes, good. If it doesn't come also, it's good. One such example is the love of Mirabai. We all know Mirabai loved Krishna, and while doing so, she went through so much of hardship. In entire life of her, if you read about her, she went through so much of hardship, but never ever her love for Krishna reduced. It was always so much true love that she forgot herself and finally she merges into Krishna. And that's what we can say Atma Sakshar or getting moksha. So this type of love is true love. There is no motive behind this love. This type of tapas is sattvic tapas. Now, who does this sattvic tapas? For if you ask me or if you ask any child, without any benefit, why should we read and do all these things? Isn't it? Because we think that after doing some work, we should get rewarded. But that is for lower maturity. For mature people or higher intelligent people, we don't have to have always rewards. Does your mother get any reward if she helps you in your homework, if she cooks for you? Does anyone reward her? Does anyone reward for your father who works 24/7 so that all the home and the house work is done? He doesn't expect any reward from the kids. Same way, a mature person, a purushartha here. Purushartha means who understand what is the goal of his life. What is the real goal of his life? Not only money, not only fame, not only pleasure, but the real goal is to get moksha, liberated. And that purushartha is mentioned here as mature person. For those people, any tapas done without expectation, without fruits, and only for dharma, only for the love of dharma and the scriptures and for the gurus will be considered as sattvic tapas. If you have any question, we will take in the end of this. Before that, we will go to the next verse, which describes the obviously Rajasic tapas. So 17.18, Shivang will chant with ma'am, and then Salokya, or if she's not there, I will explain it. Go ahead, Shivang, ma'am, over to you.
Satkaramana pujartham tapodambhena chaiva yata kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam. Satkaramana pujartham.
Satkaramana pujartham.
Pujartham Mahaprana.
Pujartham.
Tha.
Pujartham.
Tapodambhena chaiva yata.
Tapodambhena chaiva yate.
Kriyate tadiha proktam.
Kriyate tadiha proktam.
Tadiha proktam. Ha, you should not elongate. Kriyate tadiha proktam.
Kriyate tadiha proktam.
Rajasam chalamadhruvam.
Rajasam chalamadhruvam.
Kriyate, not kriyate. Okay. Now let us all chant. Satkaramana pujartham. Tapodambhena chaiva yata. Kriyate tadiha proktam. Rajasam chalamadhruvam. Very good.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, Shivang, you can explain in your way. Then after that, Salokya.
Austerity that is the meaning of the verse is the austerity that is performed with ostentation for the sake of gaining honor, respect, and adoration is in the mood of passion. Its benefits are unstable and transitory.
Fantastic. So you all know, if you are studying only to get name, fame, that studies will not be in your head for long. The results will be only temporary. Similarly, today's era of so many things like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where you want to get lot of likes and what is this, loves and stars. So many things are there, right? People are doing so many acts to just be on the Twitter or Twitter handle. They write so many things. They do stunts like this person standing on a bike or this person who is doing something on the motorbike. But we all know that is temporary. These results will give temporary fame. What would happen if this person get an accident and have a big failure? They will definitely break 1 or 2 bones in their body. And that would be disastrous, isn't it? So children, in today's era, this Rajasic austerity or tapas is not at all recommended. Even though there are a lot of peer pressures to be having the Instagram or handles and where you are always liked by someone. Don't do anything for that. That's what a sincere request. Through understanding of Bhagavad Gita, we know that such things should not be done to show dambha darpaha, pomp and show. So we revise what is Rajasic tapas. Immature people will do this. Ups and downs will depending upon the failures or success for such people.
Sir, if that cycle fall down.
He will break his teeth and jaws. Everything will be broken, isn't it?
Not only that, he will be fallen and he will break his head and all.
Yes. So doing this Rajasic tapas just to show someone, you should not be doing, even though someone forces you. Finally, such non-stable people will land up in depression, because many of the children nowadays come that I don't get so much likes on my Instagram handle. Not at your age, but after some age, like in the teens. If they don't have so many friends, so many likes in this virtual world, be in the real world. Go out to play. Go with your friends. Talk to them. Have a physical play and chat, not this virtual world. Because finally you will land up in depression, nothing else. And this type of Rajasic tapas is not described in scriptures. So we should not follow Rajasic tapas. Now we will see what is Tamasic tapas. For this, can I request Aditi to chant with ma'am? Raghav is not there.
Sure, uncle.
Okay. So chant with ma'am and then we will take over from you.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा
Can you repeat it, ma'am? Parasyotsādhanārtham vā.
Again repeat. Yeah. Okay, I'll teach you, then you can repeat. Parasyotsādhanārtham vā.
Sorry.
It's okay. Hello. Yes, repeat.
Parasyotsādhana.
Okay, parasyotsadana. Okay, tell.
Parasyotsadhanārtham nya.
Va, that is parasyochadanartham va.
Parasyotsādanārtham vā.
Very good, very good. Tattamasamudavrutam.
Tattamasamudahritam.
Perfect. Now let us all chant together. Mudhagrahenatmano yat.
Mudhagrahenatmano yat.
Pīdaya kriyate tapaha.
Pīdaya kriyate
Tapaha.
Parasyotsadanartham va.
Parasyotsādanārtham vā.
Tattamasamudavrutam.
Tattamasamudavrutam.
Can you just read it, Aditi?
Okay, sure. Tat tapaha, that austerity. Yet kriyate, which is practiced. Pidaya atmanaha, for the torture of the body. Mudagrahena, out of an erroneous notion. Va utsadanartham,
Destruction.
for the destruction. Parasya, for others. Udahritam is said. Tamasam, to be tamasic. That austerity, the austerity which is practiced by the torture of the body out of an erroneous notion, or the destruction or for the destruction of others, is said to be tamasic.
Thank you very much. And in the last minute, you have done it. Thank you. So, with an example of such an austerity, if ma'am is ready, ma'am can explain us by the Amba's example, Amba's tapas.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure of one of the verses for Mahaprana, there was one red marker missing. On one of the first verses.
Among the first one.
Yeah.
Here?
Somewhere. Yeah, not here. So like I'm checking. Because on one of the verse, it is, yeah, this one, sir. In the second line, tapas tat trividham, it is highlighted in Sanskrit, but not in English.
Oh.
Okay, that's a mistake. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Very good. Very good. You are
Welcome, sir.
here, right?
Yeah. DH, you
Yes,
had
sir.
to.
Thank you. Thank you. So, where were we in? Yeah. Ma'am, if you're okay, will you be explaining the story or?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a story about revenge of Amba, Ambalika, and Ambika. As per Mahabharata, there was a princess, there was a Raja of Kashi, and he had 3 daughters called Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. Amba, the elder one, she secretly loved a prince of another kingdom, Saubala, and his name was Salva. And this once king declared that he would arrange Swayamvara, that is the bride, his daughters would choose the bridegroom for as her husband or a life partner. So Amba was about to select Salva in that Swayamvara. Then Bhishma fought all other Rajas, and then he defeated every one of them, and he abducted all the 3 princes as a bride to his younger stepbrother called Vichitravirya. This he did in accordance with the command of his stepmother called Satyavati, as king of Kashi did not send invitation to Kuru dynasty, and the king of Kashi, he thought Vichitravirya is inferior to his daughter. So Satyavati wanted to teach him a lesson. Then the eldest daughter Amba begged in front of Vichitravirya, and he let her go because he wanted her to be with her love, that is the Salva Raja. Then she came to Salva and then said, okay, let us be together. Then he said, you are touched by another person, that is Bhishma abducted you, so I cannot marry you. So you go back to Vichitravirya. Then she comes back to Vichitravirya. Then he says, no, I cannot. Once I have gifted you to Salva, I cannot take back the gift. That is what he says. And Amba was in a big shock. Then she went to Bhishma and she begged him to marry her. Then Bhishma said, no, I'm not going to help you in anything, in this matter, because I have taken a vow of celibacy as per the wish of my stepmother. And he gave two options. Either you go back to your father's place, that is Kashi, or stay here in this Hastinapur as a maid. Then after all, Amba was a princess, so she could not work as a maid. So then she shouted on Bhishma, saying, you are the one who abducted me, dragged in the hell where I have been suffering, and I have to suffer for the rest of my life. So you are responsible for this. You have to, and I wish you will suffer like what I have suffered. Then she returned to her father. She explained everything and she wanted to take a revenge. So she came across, she met some sages, and they said Parashurama would help you because he is an enemy of Kshatriya clan. Then Amba explained her situation to him. Then he said, okay, let me go and fight, either convince Bhishma, convince Salva, or fight Bhishma for his mistake. Then he came to Hastinapura. Then there was a big fight for about 25 days or so. And then they used, Parashurama was a great fighter. He was a teacher. So he knew all tricks, all how to use the weapons and missiles. So at last, Parashurama wanted to shoot one missile. At that time, Narada said, the after effects of this missile is going to spoil, destroy the world. So please don't do that. Then Parashurama said, he gave two, requested to stop the war. And then they declared, okay, a draw, and then they both of them went away. Then this disappointed Amba, she prayed or requested Kartikeya, the god of war, to help her. Then he could not do it. Then she prayed Lord Shiva, Mahadev, only he can help because he is Ashutosh, he is Dinartha Bandhu. Whoever is in distress, he is going to help. So she became a devotee of Lord Shiva. Shiva appeared, and seeing her rigorous austerities, she explained to him. Then he said, Bhishma's vow of celibacy granted him a boon of deciding time of his death, that is Icha Marani, that is whatever time, wherever he wants to end his life, or in the breath is last breath, that is he can choose the time. So you can be a just reason for his death, and it is not possible for you to do in this life. You can be a cause for his death, but that too not in this life. Hearing this, she jumped into fire and killed herself, and she was born as Drupada's daughter, Shikhandi, in her next birth, and helped Pandavas to defeat Bhishma. So this is the story of revenge against Bhishma.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Detailed story of the revenge, the tapas for revenge. And that's what is a tamasic tapas. We all should be far, far away from such a tapas. We should not practice this type of austerity. Not only harmful to oneself, but also to others and society. And only negative thing is born out of it. Nothing is positive out of this thing. So stay away from such austerity, which brings hatred or jealousy and even death to others. With this, we come to the last verse of today, and this starts with the new topic, that is dana. So in this chapter, we have only 4 things: ahara, worship, tapas, dana. So with that, we start with the sattvic dana. Over to you, Samruddhi, and over to ma'am for teaching us the verse.
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशकाले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्. Here there is no letter marked in red. What does it mean?
No Mahaprana.
Yeah. I wanted children to answer. Okay. Samruddhi, please repeat. दातव्यमिति यद्दानं
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं
दीयतेनुपकारिणे
दीयतेनुपकारिणे
देशकाले च पात्रे च
देशकाले च पात्रे च.
It can be both. Deshakala can be one word or 2 different words. Deshakale cha patre cha.
देशकाले च पात्रे च
Taddanam satvikam smrutam.
तद्दानं
सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Okay, let us all chant together. There is no Mahaprana in this sloka. Datavyamiti yaddanam diyatenupakarini Deshakale cha patre cha Taddanam satvikam smrutam.
So thank you, ma'am. There are 2 Samruddhis now. I think I have wanted to get the Samruddhi from West Bengal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you explain this?
Yes, sir. Certainly. Charity is classified as proper or improper, superior or inferior, according to the factors mentioned by Sri Krishna in this verse. When it is offered freely, selflessly from the heart to worthy recipients at the proper time and at the appropriate place, it is designed to be in the mode of goodness. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And now Narayani will try to explain in details.
Namaste. I will be giving 2 examples from this verse, that is Sattvic charity. Everyone knows when a tree gives all of its components which it can give to us, but it does not expect anything from us. Like it gives us oxygen, but does not expect we giving the tree anything. The second I would like to give an example of the banana tree. Everyone knows all the parts of banana tree is used for cooking, medicines, and all other kind of things. And the second example would be mother. From the day 1 of our birth, we know that mother has always been with us. She has given us food, given all the facilities we need. But she never expected anything from us. That is what is called sattvic charity. We are supposed to give, but we are not supposed to, and we should not expect anything from anyone. Thank you. Namaste.
So nice examples Narayani has made, and it is given. So the charity which is given with an attitude of gratitude, that giving is just a duty, not a right to get it in back something. And whether people reciprocate in a good way or not in the right way, it doesn't matter for the person who is giving sattvic charity. Also, in scriptures, it is mentioned at a proper place. Swamiji gives a very good example here. Now, in the May month, when Chennai is in a peak of its summer, and people go and give charity of blankets there. Is it a right place to give blankets in Chennai in summer?
No, sir.
Absolutely not right, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's what.
Sir, why would they give blankets in the middle of hot summer?
So that's what. It is an example. We should not be giving charity where it is not required and in a wrong place. So it should be given in a right place and at a proper time. Okay? And to the proper person. So just an example Swamiji gives here. That is considered to be sattvic charity. Benefits of Dhanam are many, but few we all know that it will maintain an equilibrium between the people who have much more and then those people who don't have anything. So by giving when the water flows from a high altitude to the lower altitude, there is a balance. And it's important to have this equilibrium because without this, society will see a lot of robbery, thefts, stealing, grabbing, and all the other unsocial elements are there. So benefits of Dhanam are multifold, and one such benefit is equilibrium. Also, when the person gives, when he gives to others, he is at peace. The person who is at peace will not have different action, different thoughts. It will be one and the same at all the time. And most importantly, we all need that punyam for raising ourselves. As we know, from tamasic to become rajasic to sattvic, we require a lot of punyam, and that would come through giving dhanam. With this, today, I end the class, and we will see the next class, story of Karna. I want someone of you to tell me this story, which is Karna was known as Danashur or Danavir. Okay? Anvit, can you chant this mantra for us? Unmute, please.
Yes, sir. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Shanti.
Hari Om. Happy New Year to you all.